Dialogue Body Language reading, and today I'm looking at two politicians from the United States, Jim Jordan and Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein. This is obviously about the Trump in collusion with Russia, and this is the information that the Republican politicians are saying that Rod Rosenstein is holding back on. So this is in front of the Congress here. I'm looking at the body language of two people. So it's Jim Jordan and Rod Rosenstein. Let's have a look what they have to say.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Rosenstein, why are you keeping information from Congress?
I'm not keeping any information.
So if we look at him on the get-go, he's got one shoulder down, one shoulder up. His neck is covered, his jaw is down, he's covering his neck, his eyes are up. He's getting as much information as he can get as possible. Even from the get-go, we are looking at an angry man.
Information from Congress that it's appropriate.
In a few minutes, Mr. Rosenstein, I think the House of Representatives is going to say something different.
I don't agree with you, Congressman. I don't believe it.
Okay, so we've got a tongue through the mouth. To me, I find that really does mean that I know something you don't know, so there, ha ha ha. Or it's up yours. Or it can be that he's just dry, but I don't believe he's dry.
That's what they're going to say, and if they do, they'll
I
be mistaken.
Okay, right there, he pointed his finger. That's a sign of aggression. Whenever we point a finger or someone's got a finger at us, it is definitely a sign of aggression, and he's saying, don't you dare do that to me.
Hey, but I think in a few minutes, the House of Representatives is going to go on record saying you haven't complied with requests from a separate and equal branch of government, that you haven't complied with subpoenas, and you got 7 days to get your act together. I think that's what's going to happen in a few. And that's not Jim Jordan. I think that's a majority of the House of Representatives. In just a few minutes, I think that's going to happen. And I want to know why you won't give us what we've asked for.
Sir, I certainly hope that your colleagues are not under that impression.
And we had a pullback of the lip here. That actually means he's in contempt. He's in contempt of Jim Jordan. And he's fiddling with his hand here with a piece of paper in front of him, and his eye contact is below here.
That is not accurate, sir.
It's not accurate, sir. So he had a little bit of duping delight coming in. That could mean I've got something going on and I'm smiling at you because I know something you don't know.
It is accurate. We have caught...
Right there. So we've got a release of tension, big time. So the Republican came at him. Jim Jordan came at him. And there's a release of tension. It's either a cry or it's a smile or it's a punch, basically. It's one of those sorts of things.
You hiding
Mr. Chairman, can we allow the witness to answer? Mr. Chairman, point of order.
And he's angry. He's got pursed lips right there.
We have them here. We'll allow him additional
Rosenstein.
Again, we saw a finger go up here, getting back at him.
Answer.
I'd like
Let me make this one point where we've caught you hiding information, then you can answer. Why did you hide the fact that Peter Strzok and Judge Contreras were friends? Why?
So, contempt. Why did you hide the fact that such and such were friends? Contempt. It could be true, it might not be true, but he's not happy. He doesn't like the guy.
Did you redact that in the documents you gave to us? Judge Contreras, kind of important. FISA court judge, more importantly, just as importantly, the judge that heard Mike Flynn's case. Why'd you try to hide that from us?
Mr. Jordan, I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to respond.
So that, I appreciate you giving me an opportunity to respond. That is sort of playing with words and playing with time. So he's got enough time to answer the question, and he's fiddling again with his hands.
I heard you make those sort of allegations publicly on TV.
I got
and if you let me respond, sir.
Mr. Chairman, he should.
Yeah, he's not happy either. So again, we've got aggression coming up, finger up again, and looking down, and there's the side eye that comes in every now and then.
Given the opportunity.
Now, Mr. Jordan, I am the Deputy Attorney General of the United States.
So he's qualifying himself, and a tongue cut came through. So there is what he's saying. So there.
Okay? I'm not the person doing the redacting.
And redacting. So there was a strain on the face there. That's it's like a snarl. It's like an animalistic snarl. So don't you dare do that to me, is what he's saying.
I'm responsible for responding to your concerns as I have. I have a team with me.
Again, we've got a pointing of the finger.
Sir, it's just a fraction of the team that's doing this work, and whenever you brought issues to my attention, I have taken appropriate steps to remedy them. So
and again, like, he's angry. He's really coming back at him with the side eye. He's not giving him a straight on eye. He's giving him the side eye.
Statement that I'm personally keeping information from you, trying to conceal information.
You're the boss, Mr. Rosenstein.
That's correct.
I'm going to look at that again. We're going to slow-mo that one.
Information.
You're the boss, Mr. Rosenstein.
That's correct.
Coming straight back at him. He's angry.
And my job is to make sure that we respond to your concerns. We have, sir.
And so we've got a bored-looking man here, even though he's angry. We've got a so-called bored-looking person. He's saying, I can't be bothered with what you have to say. I don't trust what you have to say. And he's going back to him. He's saying, look, I'm going to give to you as good as you get. So there.
Appointed Mr. Lausch, who is managing that production. And my understanding is it's actually going very well, sir. So I appreciate your concerns.
Again, I think the House of Representatives is going to...
Interesting. I appreciate your concerns, yet the finger went up. So that's incongruent. The finger went up, the aggression, but... is what he's saying. Listen to me.
say otherwise.
But your use of this to attack me personally
Why did you?
is
It's not
deeply
a
wrong.
personal.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. May the witness be permitted to answer the question?
It's not personal.
The gentleman will suspend.
I appreciate your service. It's not personal. You're struck not to answer our questions yesterday. When I asked people.
Again, we've got duping delight. It's like, And that is a way of saying, hey, I'm a little bit arrogant. I don't care what you have to say. I'm going to smile at you.
You're struck if he'd ever communicated with Glenn Simpson. He gave us the answer he gave us dozens of times. On advice of FBI counsel, I can't answer that question. Why couldn't he answer that question?
And for some reason, he's scratching his butt. It must be quite itchy.
I appreciate your sincere concerns, but I didn't get Peter to strike
I appreciate your concerns, yet he put his tongue through his mouth. He doesn't really.
any instructions. If there was some problem with the instructions he had, I'll be happy to look into it.
Not what his left
You have
guy
to
lawyer
understand,
said.
Mr. Jordan, when you find some problem with the production or with questions, it doesn't mean that I'm personally trying to conceal something.
Okay, so interesting. Even though we've got the Republicans in a high position, and then this guy, his position, even though he's in charge of 1,500 people, he was in charge of, he's trying to give as good as he's getting.
We're running an organization that's trying to follow the rules, and we're going to
You
respond.
know what was interesting? When I asked him if he'd ever talked to Bruce Orr, he said he had. Said he had 3 times in 2016 and
Interesting. So he was looking, he was thinking right there. His eyes were in deep searching.
2017. Then I asked him, have you ever talked to Nellie Orr? And he said, no, I haven't. I said, well, why can you answer that
Okay, again, contempt.
question? Because Nellie Orr worked for Glenn
And we've got an aggressive hand coming up here, just like him. So they're giving each other the same sort of grief.
Simpson, worked for Fusion. He could answer that question, but he couldn't answer because FBI counsel told him he couldn't. He couldn't answer the question whether he'd ever communicated with Glenn Simpson, a journalist. Why couldn't he answer that question?
Jordan, I appreciate you're saying it isn't personal. Sometimes it feels that way. How do
Again, he's dilly-dallying around the question, not answering it full out.
I know, sir? I mean, you interviewed Mr. Struck. I didn't, so I can't.
Works for you. Doesn't work for us.
Again, we've got contempt coming in.
There are 115,000
Oh, right there. Pursed lips and tongue came through the mouth. Like, oh, holding back, angry.
people who work for me, sir.
Mr. Rosenstein, did you threaten staffers on the House Intelligence Committee?
Interesting. Did you threaten? He went that way, away from the question. He didn't like that question.
Media reports indicate you did.
Media reports are mistaken.
With a contempt. Again. So this guy, Rod Rosenstein, does a lot of contempt. So you can tell when he doesn't like something because it happens quite a bit. However, he did answer that question pretty quickly. There was no dilly-dallying with that.
Sometimes. But this is what they said. Having the nation's #1 law enforcement
Interesting. He needs a drink of water. Get rid of the anxiety and the dry mouth because he's full of anxiety. Both of them. They both are.
officer threatened to subpoena your calls and emails is downright chilling. Did you
And he's going, whatever. Head swipe, whatever.
threaten to subpoena their calls and emails?
No, sir, and there's no way to subpoena phone calls.
So, even that. He answered straight up, so there was no dilly-dallying with that.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying.
And again, we had contempt in the mouth. Twice.
I'm reading what the press said. I'm reading what
Well,
the
I
press
would
said.
suggest that you not rely on what the press says, sir.
Well, I didn't ask if there's no way to do it. I asked if you said it.
If I said what?
What I just read you.
No, I did not.
Well, now who are we supposed to believe?
Okay, this guy is an alpha male. This guy's an alpha male. So it's 2 alpha males having a go at each other for completely, keeping each other's side together as much as they can. Interesting body language that was going on between these two.
Staff member.
So I think I'll leave it there because it doesn't go on very long in this particular video. So this is for a Patreon viewer. Thank you very much for the idea. I do have other videos coming up. I will catch up with these, and please share and like and subscribe. Cheers, the dialogue.